Hey, what's up you guys? How's it going? It's Papa, and today I'm going to be showing you my second place ELDLICH Dogmatika deck that I just took to my locals. I only lost my one round. This deck went 4-1, and the only match that I lost was against the winner, Mike. He was playing Dredron. Big congrats to him, really good friend, known him for years. The deck did really good. It was my first time playing this in an actual tournament, so I was very hesitant on playing it, and the deck really did a lot more than I thought it was going to. I'm really happy with this list. I'll go over the cards that I will change though. The side and extra is kind of a work in progress, but the main deck I felt was really good. There's one card that I'll take out, and I'll talk more about it when I get into it. But we'll just go ahead and go into the main deck. So starting off for the main deck, we play 2 copies of ELDLICH the Golden Lord. You don't really need 3. 3 is just kind of excessive. Not a lot of people are playing DD Crow right now, and if they call by the grave, yeah, it sucks, but you kind of have to take the high risk, high reward. I wish these were secret too, and they're kind of ugly, but Golden Boy is golden. 1 Ecclesia, so I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have seen Pax list that has played the 2-1, and I've seen a lot of people also play 2-1, and as good as this is, I felt like it wasn't enough, so I actually decided to play 3 copies of Inspector Border in the main deck. This was debatable. This was very last minute. I'm gonna do this. So I really thought having just these 6 monsters in the deck would be perfect, and I was honestly correct. I didn't see too many monsters. I really didn't want to draw a Lich, so playing the border just acted as an extra form of interruption, because my opponent will go Lightning Storm, or they'll go Twin Twister, whatever the hell they do. But it doesn't get rid of the border unless they call border off of a storm. But this is just a really big problematic card, and I didn't think it was going to be as problematic until it did the work today. This card put in a lot of work, and it was probably a good reason why I won most of my matchups. I definitely would play this going forward in the main deck. I think it's actually a main staple. Sure, going second it kind of sucks, but we play cards in the side deck that helps with going second. So that's it for the monsters, only 6. For spells, I didn't play a lot either. I think I played 6 as well. We played the 3 copies of Extravagance, self-explanatory. This card says draw 2. 2 copies of Duality. You could play 3 if you want, but I think 2 is better. I didn't want to max out on 3 just because I am playing Ecclesia, so worst comes to worst, I could just special summon the Ecclesia going second. But it really just depends on preference. I like 2, and I think everyone else does too. A card that I play that I don't see a lot of people playing ELDLICH is Cardidomize. I don't get why people aren't playing Cardidomize. I guess understand why, you draw Ecclesia, you can't special summon, but this card's broken because it literally says draw 3, and it just gets you infinite resources and just puts you in a really good spot. I think only during the tournament I resolved this once, but I would not take this out. This card does way too much, and it helps you too if you top deck this in the late game, and then you just out-resource your opponent. Card's insane. But 6 spells to go with the 6 monsters in the main deck. For traps, we play the standard 3 copies of Sanguine, 3 copies of Golden Land. Shouldn't have to explain these too much. And then the standard 2 copies of Haquero. I do like this ratio. I mean, I see people normally play 2 Haquero. It's not as good as it once was, but I definitely wouldn't play it at 1 because you want to just keep resetting it. 2 is perfect for Haquero, but Conquistador is Conquistador, and Sanguine, basically if you don't see Sanguine, the deck sucks. That's it for the ELDLICH component. For other traps, we played 3 copies of Strike. Shouldn't have to explain too much there. This card's broken. 3 copies of Judgment. Oddly enough, I saw this a lot more than Strike. I think I only saw Strike twice, maybe 3 times during the tournament. And the Strike was used on a Herald, which I just really didn't want to. Not Herald of Perfection, but a Herald of Arclight, just to stop them from getting an extra extender. And it actually basically won me the game from doing that, so that was cool. But this is objectively correct to play. I didn't feel comfortable playing Judgment because I just feel like it wasn't going to be that good, and plus I didn't have a really good side deck to where I could support having Judgment in the side to complement the main. I just think having these 6 in the main is just really good. Broken Trap, a 3 Torrential Tribute. You guys know exactly how I feel about Torrential Tribute. This card is one of the best cards in the format and probably one of the best trap cards in the game in general. This just generates you way too much advantage and makes it to where, like, in this deck, you don't really care if your monsters are on the field because you just bring them back by sending another card you control or sanguining it from the graveyard. There's just so much that you can do with Torrential in this deck, and this card basically won me my last round too. So it's just nutty. 3 copies of Punishment. Shouldn't have to go into explanation here. This is the best, probably one of the other best trap cards in the deck. There's a lot of great trap cards in the deck, but this one's definitely one of them. I didn't play Rivalry. I didn't play like Skill Drain. I just opted to play 3 Gozen Match. I thought this was really good for like breaking boards going second, and it turns out I was correct. This and paired with a card that I play in the side deck, which you'll see shortly, is just making it to where like it kind of shuts out your opponent. It's just insane. And you only play lights because Border's a light. Who would have thought? Border, Eldritch, and Ecclesia are all light, so this card doesn't hurt you at all. But if you want to do extra deck plays, then that kind of sucks. But worst comes to worst, even if you want to do extra deck plays, you just send this through Golden Lord, and then you can just pop off from there. For normal traps, I only played 2. I played 2 copies of IDP. I didn't really feel comfortable playing 3. I was already trying to keep the deck at 40. I actually ended up playing 41, but I thought having the 2 Prism was fine. 2 copies of Lose One Turn. So this was a very, very, very last minute addition to the deck. I thought Lose One Turn was actually really good for what it was. Having this with Inspector Border is broken because when you have a normal summon border, it's 2000 attack and 2000 defense. And basically what your opponent's going to do is like they're going to keep trying to inherit summon, and then they'll just try to like make a link that is higher than your border, or like they'll try to do like an Xyz. Basically they just try to out your border, but as long as it's not a link monster. But the odds of them like even getting to a link monster with Lose One Turn out is very slim. But what basically if they go like Xyz or Synchro or whatever, or if they have like Photon Thrasher or something weird, just something weird that can attack over border, this basically stops it because everything gets switched to defense and negates the effects. So this card's broken. I definitely like love the idea of this card, and it put in a lot of work, but I don't think I would play 3 of it. 3 would kind of brick too much. I mean, sure, I could send the 3rd copy off of Eldritch, but I didn't want to rely on that, so I just thought 2 was fine. This looks weird, but I played 1 Trap Trick. I never want to see multiples of this card, and honestly, this is the 41st card in the deck. I think I'm just going to cut it and just not play this at all, because if you think about it, like, I'd rather just see like all these cards are really good. I never need one specific one in any situations, at least not that came up today. Trap Trick I only resolved once, and that was to get Sanguine, so I guess that kind of helped, but I didn't really miss this card. I never felt like I needed it to save me a game or anything, so I think going forward I'm just going to cut it. And the last trap I played in the main deck was an Imperial Order standard. I play 6 spells and I want to shut my opponent off. So that's it for the main deck. It's 41 cards in the main deck again. It was just a work in progress. I really like this build a lot. I think I'll just keep playing it going forward unless I decide to change anything. Extra deck, we played 3 copies of Entis. Shouldn't have to explain anything. This is your best card to send off of Punishment. Another card to send off of Punishment is Titaniclad. This card's insane. Just being able to summon the Ecclesia on the end phase of your turn, and then search out Punishment so you don't draw an extra one for turn, since Punishment is a hard once per turn card. It's just really good, and it's 2500, so it's like one of these if you banish multiples of this off of Extravagance. I played against a lot of Shaddoll Invoke today, so I played two Shaddoll Invoke decks, and they both Maximus me, so I just sent Entis Titaniclad every time. But cards are broken. Like, I definitely wouldn't play the deck without these. For like a super tech, I guess, I don't know. This was just like if I wanted to like beat over stupid shit. Like I played 5-headed dragon because this literally beats over everything. This beats over a 4300 access code, not 53, keep that in mind. But I never used it. I never saw the need to use it. I just thought like, hey, if I like resolve 5-headed dragon, like this would just be funny. But I never used it. This could be any other card that you want. Pegasus at Ignister. This card's actually broken. This shuffles back Winda so they don't get the Schism back. The this card actually just overperformed today, and I thought it was going to underperform, but I like this card a lot. Stardust Dragon. I never resolved Starlight Road today. I resolved it when I played in a tournament earlier in the week with Yosenju for my Rogue to the King. So this card was really freaking good in that. So I tried it in this and it never came up. I never summoned it. One Pallades. I summoned it once and I won the game because of it. These cards are broken. I summoned these twice, I think, and I did the Gustav Max per game because my opponent was at 1500, and that won me my game 2, I think, in my last round. And then this card is just broken. This card steals games alone. Can't complain there. And if you don't banish it off of extra, you're broken. And then one Zeus, just in case like I ran into Dragoon. Dragoon I only saw, I think, like once or twice today, and I didn't beat it the first time, but I definitely beat it the next time I saw Dragoon. I didn't use the Zeus to do it, but like I still won. So we got there. And then the Lynx I played, just the one Spider. The Lynx I never even touched. One Spider, Lina, this card's broken, but I just didn't make it. Celine, same reasoning, and access code because we were trying to push for a game. But that's going to do it for the extra deck. The extra deck is still just a work in progress. I'm testing ratios. I don't think I'll play this again. I think I'd rather just play cards that stop Lightning Storm, like anti-spells or something, just to ensure that I'm not losing all my resources. But I did get Feather Duster twice during the tournament, so that was kind of unfortunate. But the second time I did it, I still won the game anyway. But for the side deck, we play 3 copies of Lava Golem. This card single-handedly won me my last match in Swiss, being able to tribute over my opponent's Herald of Perfection and their Masquerena, and then just being able to set 4 and pass. Like, that was so broken. I mean, we did go into time, so that's a little unfortunate. I think the game could have played out much differently if we hadn't. I was still like definitely on like a good advantage side though. My opponent had like 2 cards in hand, already used all of his Drytrons, and I just torrentialed his board. So I definitely think Lava Golem is a really good key in this deck. I would definitely play it going forward. 3 copies of Servant. This card, I feel the same exact way. This card's broken going second. You definitely don't want to keep this in the main deck going first, just because you want to be able to clear, like, bait out your opponent and clear their board. Like, this beats Mechaba, this beats like Winda. It beats a lot of cool stuff. It beats like a lot of Dragon Link stuff too. I'm sorry, Gavin, but this card is just insane. I definitely wouldn't not play this in the side deck. It's too good. Double Broken Line. I saw this once, but I didn't play it out because I just knew that I couldn't beat my opponent, which was the winner, and I was right. 2 copies of Storm Duster. This never got sided in. 2 Starlight Roads. This got sighted in, but I never used it. I saw it once, but it didn't matter because my opponent cycloned me instead of doing Twin Twister, so it was irrelevant. This was just kind of a joke. I just played 2 copies of Storming Mirror Force. I did not see the need for this card. I just thought, like, if I bait my opponent's Dragoon, I just go Storming, they go Negate, and then I go, like, Strike or something. It was just, like, cheesy. I wouldn't play it again. And then the last card I played was just a 3rd Ice Dragon Prison for in case I did play against a Dragoon deck, because Dragoon really hurts this deck a lot because you can't really get rid of the problem as easily unless you attack over it with the tank. But yeah, that's it for the deck. I mean, I really did like this deck a lot. I surprised that it did as well as it did, to be honest. But I think going forward, I'm definitely going to take out the Starlight Roads in the deck. I don't know what I'm going to replace it for yet, but if I do decide to take this deck next time, I will keep you updated on what changes. I did like the deck. I think it performed really good. I did like the base. The extra was okay. I mean, I didn't really use most of it. They were mainly just targets for punishment. But Trap Trick was definitely coming out. I don't know what to replace it for, or if I even need to replace it, because I'm already at 41, and I don't think I need to swap it out for anything different, anything less. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the deck in the comment section down below. Please like, favorite, comment, subscribe for more. I have Rogue to the King coming out shortly. I just have been busy with work and my daughter and Halloween. This time of year is really weird for me because of everything going on. But until next time, guys, this has been Papa, and I will catch you all in my next video. Take care, everyone.